Boom, shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the free range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, the maitre d' of chaos, the one, the only, the most incendiary host in all of America, Clay Edwards. Good FAFO Friday to you as we're all gas, no brakes here on the Clay Edwards Show, living that Ric Flair lifestyle. Might don't make it. My goodness. Trying to hang with a 76-year-old icon can be hazardous to your health. But man, did we have a good time hanging out with Ric Flair yesterday. Now, I do have one bit of bad news. The interview will not be streaming on this radio show. It will be internet only because, well, your boy couldn't control the four-letter words coming out of his mouth in the first 5 seconds of the show. Now, that's partially the reason, but mainly more so because we were promoting medical cannabis with Southern Sky. They're not allowed to legally advertise. And then there's some FCC rules there. So to keep the radio station, the radio show, and Southern Sky out of any potential trouble, we can't air that interview on this show just because of the little technicalities, because it is illegal for them to advertise in a non-educational way. So to keep everybody safe and fine free, we will just post it on the internet where there's no rules, breaking rules when necessary. So I'll get that posted. I've already got it in edit mode, doing a little stuff with the vocals and all that in the background, editing that. The AI is doing a little work on it, and I'll have it posted by lunchtime. Before I leave this radio station today, the interview will be up and posted. I need to make a good thumbnail for it and stuff. And man, do I have some pictures to make a good thumbnail. But that all aside, I just cannot tell you how cool it was to get to interview Ric Flair and get to meet him. You know, they say don't meet your legends. Don't meet your heroes. Unless your hero is Ric effing Flair. It was cool. It really was. He opened up. We got into some personal stuff. I told him a story. We talked about his intestinal issues, and we both had a colostomy bag at one point in time or another. We were really getting into that. They kind of cut us short a little bit, and that's cool. I appreciate the opportunity. He signed the FAFO Championship. I'm so stoked about that because I was told, because I was going to buy like one of the big gold belts, the OG World Heavyweight Championships, one of the knockoffs, but it was still going to be about $500 by the time it got here because I was going to have to do express shipping and stuff to get it in time. But I was going to buy like one of the ones, the belt he made famous back in the NWA, WCW days, the big gold belt that he took to WWF when he went to WWF. Anyway, not to bog y'all down with that, but I was told he doesn't sign belts, so I wasn't going to spend $500 just to add another belt to my collection at this particular moment in time. But shout out to my boys out there at Southern Sky. They had a belt they wanted signed too. And those guys spend a lot of money with him, or may make him a lot of money, should I say. So he agreed to sign a few belts. And we got the FAFO Championship signed by the man. I think I posted that picture on my Facebook page. If not, it will be in the next commercial break. And you'll be able to go check that out there. So just overall, man, it was super exciting to get to talk to Ric Flair, especially in the wake of Hulk Hogan passing away. And these icons, and Ozzy, you know, we're starting to lose these icons as Gen X that we grew up watching. And I'll still tell you, I did not have Flair outliving Hogan on my bingo card. And neither did Flair. I mean, I kind of asked him in so many words. But it was neat. We ended up down at Rowan's in Belhaven. I don't know who was picking these places, but either way, it was fun. I'm glad we did. And then we went to Piloto's. It's right next door to the brewery there in Belhaven. We ate lunch at Rowan's, liquid lunch for the most part. I did try their fried chicken. It was good. Their greens are really good, actually. Mashed potatoes were good, too. Hell, it was all good. And then we ate at Polito's for supper, and I got one of their pizzas, and we sat at the bar there. Rick's like me. He likes to just sit at the bar. He don't like sitting at a booth or at a table. He doesn't want to get back in the VIP room or none of that stuff. He likes to sit at the bar and be amongst the people. And I'm the same way. If you've ever gone out to eat with me, you know that I prefer to just sit at the bar. Really, I just like the bar. I like being amongst the people. I don't really like having my back to the door, which I did yesterday. But other than that, I like sitting at the bar. So it was neat. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to add to it. I did call Sean when we got there, since he lives in Belhaven. I was like, hey, whatever you're doing, stop it. Get over here to your neighborhood bar. I got a guy here I want you to meet. Ric Flair is in your neighborhood drinking. So we did that. But at the end of the day, I was drinking a few beers, and we'll shift gears after this. I was drinking a few beers, and Rick's like, no, sir. You quit sipping on your mama's tit there. You got to drink mixed drinks if you're drinking with Ric Flair. And he goes, you got to catch up. I'm too ahead of you. So I had to start drinking some cranberry and vodka and, I don't know, some combination. And those things are dangerous because you can't taste the vodka. So anyway, it was fun. I snuck back to drinking beer. I'm just not much of a mixed drinker. I like bourbon. I'm not really much of a vodka guy unless I'm drinking a Bloody Mary. If y'all got to try that Fireman John's Bloody Mary mix. I think it's going to be available soon at 042 Wine and Spirits. I'm not sure where you can get it at right now, but he gave me a bottle of it when I met him at the Wildlife Extravaganza a few weeks ago. And I still hadn't mixed it with vodka yet. I just took a sip of it to see how it tasted. And I'm telling you, that's the best Bloody Mary mix I have ever tried. It does not need anything added to it. Yeah, you can put some olives, you can put some garnishment on it. It doesn't need anything added to it. It is the perfect Bloody Mary mix, depending on how you like yours. I like my stuff a little spicy and with a bit of even a little barbecue twang to it, if that makes sense. But if you can find Fireman John, Fireman John is a local dude, just retired from Ridgeland Fire Department, and he's won best barbecue sauce at the Memphis and May World Championships with his Southern style, but I prefer his vinegar, his Carolina style. And this past year, he won best whole hog. So this man has won multiple world championships on 2 different platforms, sauce and cooking. So that is really, really cool. We're working to have Fireman John on the show here, too, here soon. I hope to get that locked down today. I don't know what made me think about that. Just, I guess, talking about with liquor and stuff. But Fireman John, if you follow me on Facebook, or on Instagram, I posted a picture of his barbecue sauce. It's available at Grills of Mississippi, the sauce is. I don't know if Jonathan and them have, and Tracy and them have the Bloody Mary mix, but the barbecue sauces are available there at Grills of Mississippi. And I highly, highly recommend it. I love Jonesy Q's sauces. They're local. And this Fireman John's vinegar base is phenomenal. It's like my current favorite barbecue sauce. I'm just kind of got to where I really don't care for barbecue sauces too much anymore, especially like Southern style tomato base. But that vinegar base, I've really grown to liking this vinegar-based barbecue sauces, the Carolina style. And that's kind of where my head has been at as far as that goes. So, look, man, I'll kind of close with this, and we'll take an early break here, come back, reset, get into all the chaos and all the political stuff that we do around here. Chase your dreams. I'm telling you, you just never know where they'll take you. I was sitting with Michael Wimberly yesterday. Michael owns McBee's and several other things, a good friend of mine. And we were just sitting there talking about how far, this whole thing's come. And here we are hanging out with Ric Flair. Him and Ric Flair trying on each other's Rolexes and telling stories about Rolexes and stuff. And they actually got along better than me and Rick because they both kind of like really nice, expensive. They have similar taste and stuff. And I'm more of a redneck. And not that I don't like Rolexes and new Mercedes and all that stuff. I think it's cool, but it's just not my jam. I like more rednecky things. But anyway, we were just talking about how far we've come. And just by ignoring haters, by ignoring the negative people who say you shouldn't do that, by ignoring the people who get too embarrassed to do the thing that they want to do. So it's these crabs in a bucket mentality, and they try to drag you back down into the bucket when you try to get out of the bucket. I never understood what crabs in a bucket meant until the last few years, as I've tried to separate myself from everybody, as I've tried to become extraordinary. And people try to pull you back down because they can't stand seeing you separate from the pack. It's like these people who don't even know me. A couple of them are still like techno DJs around here. Like, these people don't even know me. Claim that I've screwed them over in the past somehow. Bro, I ain't never booked a techno DJ in my life. So I don't know how I would have screwed you over, but neither here nor there. You know, there's the people who Clay Edwards out there trying to pretend to be something he's not. Yet it's called changing and growing. But are these people who are still doing the same thing today that they were doing 20 years ago, and they've gotten no better? They've grown no more. As a matter of fact, they're putting less people in front of them when they perform than they were 20 years ago because they hadn't evolved. Still dressing the same exact way that they dressed 20 years ago. Trying to dress like they're 20 years old. It's one thing if you're still just wearing blue jeans, tennis shoes, and a t-shirt for 20 years. That's timeless. It's another thing if you are running around here still dressing like you dressed when you were 20 because it was trendy at the time. It ain't trendy no more, dog. It's time to put on some pants that fit. It's time to put on a regular hat. It's time to quit glowing. But anyway, crabs in a bucket, man. People can't stand to see you pull apart from the pack. So they try to drag you back. They try to knock you down. Whether it's in a friendly sense, like, no, man, you shouldn't do that, man. No, man, you don't want to embarrass yourself. You shouldn't do that. Or they just outright hate on you. Oh, Clay's a racist. Oh, Clay's he's an a-hole. He did this to me one time. He did that to me one time. Y'all shouldn't pay him no attention. They try to drag you back one way or another, try to dirty up your name. Those are the people that I enjoy the most having to see what I do now. Like, those are the ones I want to tag them in the pictures of my success and my opportunities so they have to see it. But I also don't want to give them the satisfaction of knowing that I acknowledge their existence. So it's like a catch-22. You kind of want to dance on their grave a little bit, but you really don't want to be seen dancing on their grave. But I see you. All that hate y'all do, that is fuel for my fire. And it should be fuel for yours if you have something similar in your life. Like, take all that negativity, take all that hate, take all that naysaying, and use it like coal in a fire burning a locomotive down the tracks, burning an old steam liner across the ocean. Let that be the power that fuels you in your success. Let's take a break, come back. It's a FAFO Friday. It's all gas, no brakes. Here on the Clay Edwards Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. If you're watching online, hit the share button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. If you're listening on the RADIO, the Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. We're live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, and we will be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. This segment brought to you by, was at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Cypress Point Resort and Cameron's Garage at Cypress Point Resort. Guys, it is Friday. Now, This ain't going to be for everybody, but it's for a lot of you. They have a ribeye steak sandwich. Guys, this ain't a ribeye po' boy. This ain't shaved ribeye meat like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. This ain't little thin breakfast ribeye. This is a full 16-ounce fat-infused ribeye steak like you would eat for dinner at a steakhouse at Cypress Point, by the way. They have a steakhouse there, too. It's a full 16-ounce, cooked to your liking. I got mine rare. Steak on a fresh, made from scratch, in-house bun. I'm not sure if it's a Kaiser bun or a yeast bun, whatever. It's a really good hamburger bun. Similar to I don't want to go start comparing. Anyway, but a homemade bun, really good bun. They need to make it bigger. They need to be twice that size. It is a steak sandwich on a bun. It's a full ribeye on a bun with all the fixings. Fix it however you like. And a side of fries or onion rings or whatever you want. And it's right at $20, like $18.95, $19.95, something like that. It don't matter. You're going to have, you and somebody can go split it. I kid you not. Or don't. I wouldn't. I would just, you know what? I'll spend it. I'll eat it all right now and be miserable. Or I'll split it up and have 2 meals. They only serve it for lunch on Fridays. So you get by there from 11 to 2 at Cameron's Garage. It's a huge open-air sports bar. It's hot outside, but they got tons of fans and all that. The doors are open. It feels fine in there. Go try that ribeye steak sandwich today. I'll post some more pictures of it on my Facebook today. And look, you're looking for something to do tonight? Cameron's Garage. They got live music all over that place. They have a huge patio with a big stage outdoors there. That'll be wide open. The live entertainment tonight at Cameron's Garage is the Lonely Hearts Band. They're really good if you hadn't seen them. They start at 7:30 and they go all the way to 11 p.m. Tomorrow night, Traveling Jane, the full band. Man, that's going to be a good time. They start at 7:30. And then Sunday, that's right, they got live music on Sundays. What, you thought we were slipping over here? They're moving it indoors, and they've got Don Grant and Sonny Brooks from 4 to 7. And, of course, they have live music inside the tavern as well. Tonight, is today the 8th? Yeah, today they had Ben Chapin, however you say it. And then tomorrow night, they got Tulane Highway, old Shades, back in town with a duo. So get by, check out Cypress Point Resort this weekend, Cameron's Garage, and the tavern there, or the steakhouse. Make reservations for the steakhouse. It would be my recommendation. But more than anything, get out there and try that ribeye steak sandwich for lunch today. It is worth the drive, no matter where you're coming from. And it's almost like a man versus food type situation, but not really because it's only 16 ounce. But still, it's cool. And there ain't too many other places in town you can go and get a ribeye steak slammed between a hamburger bun. I don't know why more places don't do that, to be honest. You sell steaks, you sell hamburgers, offer a ribeye steak sandwich. People will pay for it if they want it. If they don't, it don't cost you anything extra to have it on the menu. You already got all those items on the menu. Food for thought. There's your $1 million business idea. But until then, Cypress Point's got it. So a story we've been following is the Copiah firefighters that got lynched in a hate crime by a roving gang of around 200 folks down in Copiah County last weekend. They were just trying to do their job and save somebody's life. But the gang, and I use the term properly, the gang, they didn't like that. They didn't get here soon enough. So we're going to make it take them longer to render aid by assaulting them because we're rocket scientists, engineers, and astronauts down here. Well, the father of the man that got killed in the wreck has now turned himself in to authorities after allegedly assaulting the fireman, let's go over here to WLBT and get a full recap of what's going on here. I haven't listened to any of this yet, so we're doing this together in live time. Here we go.
He is now facing charges after firefighters were attacked in Copiah County while responding to a deadly wreck. Sheriff Byron Swilley says 48-year-old Ken Mantell Davis turned himself in. He is charged with simple assault on a fireman. That's a felony. The sheriff says Davis is the father of the 18-year-old who was killed in that crash. Only one firefighter pressed charges.
So that's it. Only one firefighter pressed charges. They must have got to him. I'm glad he pressed charges. Because if you tolerate it, it's what they're going to give you. You get what you tolerate. And if they scare them into not pressing charges, because I believe that's probably what happened. I believe that the rest were probably scared into not pressing charges, scared of retaliation. Probably got the old sympathy card played on them. Like, man, guys, man, he just lost his son. Emotions were high. And, people lose their kids all the time, man, and they don't assault the first responders. It's probably not it ain't the first responders' fault that he lost his son. It's sad. It's tragic. I hate it. But, we broke the news over here on this platform, on this show the other day. That the kid that got killed, his friend had got killed just a few weeks or months prior, drag racing his car at that very same location, or in at least that vicinity there where they drag race down there. So he should have been all too aware of what was going on down there, and not been down there, or been more cognizant that they were going to become drag racing through there. Anyway, I want to be very careful, talking about somebody who's passed away and there wasn't any, real illicit behavior behind it. Drag racing is something I'm a huge fan of. I even don't mind the street racing. I think it's dangerous, and I think that, I don't know any other way to say it. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, unfortunately, and that is what it is. I can only tiptoe around it so much, but that's what happened. It's what happens. It's the risk you take when you go and you participate in street racing. It is a stupid thing to do, and unfortunately, death or serious injury is potential. It can potentially happen when you do it, and that is a stupid prize. And no other way to say it. It's sad. You really, really hate it. You really do. But that story's made national news, by the way. The firefighters getting assaulted. I think it was a bad look, at minimum, on Copiah County. And I just, all I can do is I constantly just go back this week, and I've been looking at these things, and there's all these black guys jumping white folks. And all I can think about is, imagine if it was the other way around. And I just want equal outrage. I want y'all to be as mad about it as I am. But if we get mad and we have outrage, we're told that's privilege. People are fed up. The fatigue is real. The fatigue is 100% real. Let's take a break. This is the Clay Edwards Show on a FAFO Friday. Y'all wake up out there. Y'all wake up. It's a beautiful Friday. All gas, no brakes. On 103.9 FM. WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, live here on 103.9 FM, WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, and of course, in stunning HD at SaveJXN. This segment brought to you by our friends right over there in Brandon, Mississippi at 042 Wine and Spirits. Guys, it's Friday. Buckle up, swing by, and get you a bottle of your favorite wine, bourbon, vodka, setup, moonshine. They got it all at 042 Wine and Spirits. Moonshine is a brand. They don't actually have moonshine. Man, they had some moonshine up at the Neshoba County Fair. The real stuff. My goodness. My goodness. But no, swing by 042 today. They've got their private label Penelope Project X bourbon. I said I got a bottle of it last week. Been sipping on some here and there. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. I'll actually, let me see if I can pull a text up here. I'll give you a quick description of it, let it describe itself a little bit better for you. Here, let me pull up Brad's text. It's got the details on it. And I'm telling you, man, if you're a bourbon connoisseur of sorts, you need to try this out for sure. Let me see here. Here is a quick description of the Penelope Project X. It's and I'm probably butchering this, Oloroso sherry finish, 108 proof. It's been hand selected by the staff and owners of 042 Wine and Spirits. It's the only one of its kind in the state of Mississippi. Smooth dried fruit and sherry on the front end with a light spice note on the back end. Swing by, try a pour anytime. That's right. Try it before you buy it. Whoever thought in Mississippi we would have the opportunity to try it before you buy it at the liquor store? 042 Wine and Spirits, baby. Try it before you buy it. The bottle's so cool. If you like collecting just cool bottles, you like to have cool-looking bottles on your shelf in your wine, your liquor cabinet or whatever, it's like a jet black, tall, skinny, what looks like a wine bottle, and the label's all black, and it's just white, simple, like almost like typewriter font. It's got the details on it, what it is. This looks really industrial, really cool-looking bottle. You know, it tastes even better than it looks. Swing by, see them today. It's like $69.95 or $69, just say $70. But look, they got all your other favorites too, from Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, all the way up to your Four Roses and your all the other popular stuff. I've had a brain fart there. I couldn't remember the names of the bourbons I wanted to say, but you know it if you like it. They got it. My professional ad read there for the day, but the Penelope is really good. So is the Four Roses. All right, what shall we talk about? The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. You know, my friend Anna, her brother was a veteran, and he got assaulted 10 years ago. I want to say outside the Waffle House on High Street, and Anna, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But we talk about the fatigue and the double standard of black men attacking white folks with little to no recourse or consequences around the country, but right here in Mississippi. And people just fed up with it. Her brother was assaulted after serving this country. He had did 3 tours of duty in Iraq, then comes home to people wanting to kill him over Michael Brown. Her brother got assaulted because these guys were mad about what happened to that thug, Michael Brown. That's the one. Is that Michael Brown? Is that the one in New York City that was that was illegally selling cigarettes outside the place? And then the cops assaulted him or choked him out and killed him. You know, they didn't happen because he was selling cigarettes. That happened because he was resisting. And I tell y'all all the time. It ain't the petty crime that gets their butt whooped. That's not what it is. What is it? It's the not complying. Man, I got a video. I'm not going to show it because it's just too long and whatnot. But we got 100 of them, 1,000 of them. Reagan says that it was the Ferguson, Missouri. That was Michael Brown was Ferguson, Missouri. Okay. Who is the one that got killed up in New York outside of the bodega selling cigarettes? Anyway, she said it was Michael Brown. So whichever one Michael Brown is. I get all these future rocket scientists that get themselves killed by the cops confused. Because it's just suicide by cop as far as I'm concerned. Suicide by cop. Except George Floyd, that was just suicide. He was going to die no matter what right there. When that bag of amphetamine exploded inside him, he was going to die no matter what. It just happened to be with Derek Chauvin's knee on the back of his neck. That was just bad timing for Derek Chauvin. But her brother was walking out of Waffle House and got assaulted. And he's in... Anna, what's your brother's condition now? I'm trying to read the text here from Anna. She said it happened on August 14th, 10 years ago. He'll never get his life back. Never have a family, nothing. I think it caused like severe brain damage. Anna, if you want to call in and tell your brother's story this morning, you're welcome to. Text me first and tell me yes, you want to. But if you do, the number is 601-879-0002. And I would love to get you on at the top of the 8 o'clock hour where we got enough time to do it. He has a super TBI. What is TBI? Sorry for my ignorance this morning. All right, we'll put that over there on the side. Yeah, y'all are telling me Mike Brown was Ferguson, Missouri. Okay. I get them confused, man. There's one over in Alabama here recently. I'm trying to find on my Instagram. Eric Gardner. Oh, traumatic brain injury is TBI. Thank you, Anna. He has a severe traumatic brain injury. And this guy was minding his own business and just got viciously assaulted by a black guy or gang of black guys. I forget what it is. It's been a while since I've heard the story. But it happened right here on High Street in Jackson, Mississippi. Whatever came of it, Anna. She's texting me on the Guns and Gear text line for those that are listening here. So I'm kind of asking her the questions and having to wait on the answers here. But I'm saying, I mean, imagine, I always say that flip the script. You know, they always want to tell us, they never want to let you forget about what that Deadman boy did when they came over here and ran over that black man. And that was evil. That was evil. None of us think that should have happened. Nobody thinks that was okay. But they never have a problem reminding you about that. Oh, but remember that racism that time? Remember the racism? But then, what about this racism? What about this racism that happened in the same damn city? Well, a veteran, a man who did 3 tours of duty in Iraq, so your ass can continue to get your free welfare, EBT, and everything else, and be the piece of crap that you are. You have the freedom to do it. Y'all assault him because he was a white man, and you was mad about what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. That's the hands up, don't shoot guy. Now I remember it all now. That whole thing proved to be a lie. You know, if I'm a supporter of Black Lives Matter, I'm feeling real dumb. Because I can't think of a single incident that they said went down the way it did. Every single one of their incidents did not go the way they said it did. I'm telling you, they begged and screamed for body cams. Oh, we got to have body cams. We're going to show you how racist these cops are. Oh, damn it. Body cams are racisms. We got no more body cams. We got to get rid of the body cams. There was an incident that popped up and I'm trying to find my favorites on Instagram here because it's a story I've been loosely following. Just trying to figure out which thing is on here is the favorites or the saved or whatever. Here we go. There's one of these, incidents of rocket scientists, engineers, and astronauts getting themselves killed by the cops over in Alabama here recently. And the NAACP and the preachers and all this stuff were doing a sit-in. And they were, all right, I have found it. So it says activists say downtown Homewood, I guess Homewood, Alabama is like a suburb of maybe Birmingham or one of the cities in Alabama. And it says activists say downtown Homewood will become the center of increased protest unless leaders show the moral clarity and courage to respond to demands to release footage showing the shooting of 18-year-old Jabari Peoples by a police officer. Wayne T. Harris, director of communications for Black Lives Matter Birmingham, told Homewood city leaders that they had failed Jabari Peoples' family by not demanding that the police video of the incident and shooting be made public. Earlier in the week, Homewood Mayor Alex Wyatt urged the Alabama law enforcement agency to allow the family of Jabari Peoples to view body cam footage of his fatal shooting, but ALEA has declined the request, saying doing so would jeopardize the investigation. Now, fast forward a little bit. I thought I had, hold on. Yeah. Dang it. I thought I had it saved. Anyway, fast forward a little bit. Now they're coming out saying that Jabari Peoples had made a bad decision. He made a poor decision and had a gun pointed at law enforcement when he got pulled over. And that's why he's dead. Well, what about all that hell y'all was raising? Like, once the body cam footage came out, foiled again. I'm telling you, body cams is BLM's kryptonite. I mean, can y'all name, real talk here. Well, everything I do is real talk, but real talk here. Can y'all name me one of these situations where y'all try to make race the factor, where it actually ended up being the factor on the black versus white side of this? But every time when it's black on white, let me rephrase that. Can y'all show me one where it's so-called whites abusing blacks or cops abusing blacks, where the story is what you actually say it is? Can you show me one time in the BLM era that y'all been right? But I feel like every time the script is flipped, it's 100% racism against white people. And the stories go nowhere except for platforms like this and social media when they allow it to be shared. Again, man, I don't encourage any kind of stuff like that, any behavior like that. But I'm just saying, if we're going to sit there and charge white people with hate crimes and all this other stuff, charge black people with them too. Make a damn example out of some folks. Otherwise, just change the name of the hate crime to the white people only law. Talk about privilege. My goodness. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. I made a couple mistakes there. Anna's brother was killed at the Huddle House. Not killed, I'm sorry. Was beaten at the Huddle House in West Point, Mississippi. I'll unpack that in the next hour. It was another man who was beaten to death at the Waffle House in Jackson. We'll discuss that too. Y'all don't go anywhere. All right, I'm getting all these stories lined up here. We're going to unpack a few of these. We're going to jump in the Wayback Machine and highlight a few of these incidents where white people were viciously beaten by black people and even killed. But where was the outrage on their behalf? Where were the hate crimes charged on these folks? Again, we just want equal application of the law. I just want equality, y'all. That's what y'all keep telling me, equality. I just want equality. I want to see y'all's asses equally spend as much time in jail as somebody that looked like me would if they did it. Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. This is the Clay Edwards Show here live on 103.9 FM WYAB. Streaming in stunning HD at Save JXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube. At Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. This segment brought to you by my buddy, Dr. Spencer Mills. Got to see Spencer yesterday out there. Him and his documentary crew were filming some stuff about the medical cannabis industry here in Mississippi, and they were interviewing Ric Flair, and then they recorded my interview with Ric Flair. So I got to hang out with Dr. Spencer Mills for a while. That's right, man. The owner of UrgeVet, our after-hours and emergency veterinarian clinic here that we're partners with on the show, is also a documentary filmmaker. He was a part of the team, him and Brian, and I forget Brian's last name off the top of my head, 13 South Productions. They were the ones that brought us the soon-to-be-released documentary about the Neshoba County Fair. Such cool Mississippi stories they tell. Anyway, UrgeVet is going to be open this weekend, as they are every weekend, 24 hours and after hours during the week. I think they open at 5 p.m. on weeknights, and they're 24 hours on weekends and holidays, located out there in Madison on Olympic Way. If, God forbid, you have any issues and any pet emergencies this weekend, I mean, I've got 2 pets, well, 3 technically, and if anything was to happen to one of them, I know we'd be busting bugs from Brandon to UrgeVet in Madison. A friend of mine had to get her dog out there a couple weeks back. Just a sad situation. I mean, just always hate people have anything go wrong with their pets. Oh, man. But if it does, we hope you never have to use UrgeVet. But unfortunately, a lot of you will. And if you do, please use UrgeVet in Madison. Good folks. URGI, Urgi Vet. I like it. Very easy name to remember. Good folks. All right. So I went back and did some research. Our crack research team, me and Google, went back and look, so in my defense here, a lot of people have been shot, beaten, or killed at the Waffle House on High Street in Jackson over the years. And so I got to get my stories confused a little bit, so I apologize. And I apologize to Anna Barnes about getting her brother's stuff wrong there. I said that it happened at the Waffle House in Jackson. It happened at the Huddle House in West Point. But there's one key. There's one factor that seems to remain the same in all of these cases, and that is it's after-hours breakfast joints, and the perpetrators were black. Let's jump back in the Wayback Machine, and let's go to the first one I was thinking of. The man that got beaten to death at the Waffle House in Jackson. This computer, I tell you. His name was, and we got some pictures of him here. I'm not going to pull them up because I'm afraid the computer will crash. But he worked for MEMA, the Mississippi Emergency Management Association. Is that what it stands for? Robert Latham, the man's name was Eric Hambrick. Robert Latham, the director of MEMA at the time, said that the MEMA family is saddened by the tragic death of Eric Hambrick. Eric was a gifted vocalist who often sang at area churches. He was very engaged with his church and the church youth. He was a dedicated public servant that will be truly missed. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends. And here's a story from WLBT. This happened back in 2015. Clay, why are you talking about something from 2015? Why are you going back 10 years to dredge up old stuff? Why don't you just let the past live in the past? As soon as y'all start doing it, I'll start doing it. That's when I'll do it. I'll stop doing it when you stop doing it. So Police say a man was attacked at a Jackson Waffle House. A man that was attacked at a Jackson Waffle House has died. 52-year-old Eric Hambrick was found lying on the ground at the Waffle House on High Street Thursday night. Hambrick was hospitalized and died over the weekend from his injuries. After reviewing surveillance video at the business, police say Hambrick was attacked in the parking lot. The video shows someone striking Hambrick, then taking off his finger. Taking a ring off his finger. I was like, man, that sounded worse than I thought it did. Chief Lee Vance said, quote, some proper grammar, please. Right now, we know we're dealing with one suspect, a male. We believe that the video show that individual striking the deceased, and also there are images where it appears his ring is being taken off his finger. Right now, Hambrick's death is being ruled as questionable death, but will likely be upgraded to capital murder once they gather more information on the case. I'm sorry, this thing is written so poorly I can barely make it make sense. Police say there were no witnesses to the crime. Hambrick was employed at Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, not association, agency, and spent his free time singing with local choir groups and acting with several playhouses. Sherry Boyer, a friend who sang alongside Hambrick, said he was talented, he was always there, willing to share, and he always made the world a little bit better place. Now, I found where they did arrest some future rocket scientists, engineers, and possibly even astronauts if they try hard enough for this crime. 2 charged in beating that killed MEMA worker. Oh, would you look at there? It's the usual suspects. This from WAPT, June 3rd, 2015. A judge denied bond for 2 men. I'm just trying to get to see how many vowels they had in their first names. A judge denied bond Tuesday for 2 men charged in connection with a robbery and beating that killed a Mississippi Emergency Management Agency employee, Eric Hambrick. The incident took place Thursday night outside Waffle House on High Street. Jackson police said Hambrick died Saturday night at the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Officers responded to a medical call initially, but surveillance video showed a robbery and brutal beating, Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance said. Arkell Coleman, 19, and y'all, I'm going to try to pronounce this name. Shredderick Anderson, 18, were arrested and, according to police, confessed. The 2 men are charged with murder, strong arm robbery, and police said officers have identified a 3rd suspect but haven't released his name or any charges he may face, authorities said. So, I know R's aren't vowels, but he's got 3 R's in one name. So, Arkell is 2 vowels. It's 2/3 of the name. And Shredderick has an E, and an I. So it's 3 vowels. But the first name has got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 words in the first name. 11. 11 times. 11 words, and 3 of them are R's, and 3 of them are vowels. I mean, y'all just making stuff up. I mean, I don't want to sell Azrael over here short, Arkell, on how odd that name is, but Anderson, 18. My God, man. Do you just not love your children? There's a documentary out there. Corey, if you're listening, what's the name of that documentary that talks about these goofy names these people give their kids? It's a documentary about social stuff. And there's a part in it where it talks about giving your kids goofy names like Precious or Mercedes or Shrunk Derek, and how you're basically cursing them from birth to be strippers and thugs. They've gone through and they looked at all the data available of like criminals' names or strippers' names, like real names. And it's this wild documentary about that. What's it called? What is that documentary called? I'll have to find that during the break because I'll have to do some strange Googling. It's like Socionomics or something like that. It was a book. No, that's not it. It's not called Not Just a Name. I'll remember in a minute. I'm not trying to be unprofessional here, trying to guess on the air. I mean, this is the Clay Edwards Show. Unprofessional is kind of what we do. So I'm curious what ended up happening with those guys. Their bond was denied. I'll have to dig deeper into it all. Just sad, man. Just sad. But nobody seems to care. I mean, I just Googled man shot and killed at Waffle House on High Street in Jackson, Mississippi, and the amount of different stories that pop up in different years. Like, here's one here. April 26, 2023. Witnesses describe shooting at Jackson Waffle House. Here's another one. September 20th, 2022. JPD says a man was shot in both legs as he slept, waiting on his food outside the restaurant. He is in stable condition. A man was asleep and got shot in both legs. Here's another one. March 4th, 2022. 2 men injured in shooting outside Jackson Waffle House. Here's another one. Man injured in drive-by shooting at Waffle House on Highway 18. That's just the first page of Google. Guys, I ain't saying don't go to Waffle House, but I'm saying don't go to Waffle House. Here's another one. This is actually a video I made. Man dies in Jackson Waffle House shooting over stolen Kia. That's right. Oh, God, y'all, I remember this one. This is one where some kids, future rocket scientists, engineers, and possibly even an astronaut or two if they study really hard, stole a Kia. Hashtag Kia boys, because Kias are easy to steal and Hyundais. You remember Chokwe Lumumba actually blamed the thefts of these Kias on Hyundai and Kia. Not the thugs stealing them. I want to say the city of Jackson actually filed a lawsuit against Hyundai and Kia. Because we can't control our future rocket scientists, engineers, and possibly even astronauts too if they study really hard. We keep adding stuff to this description, by the way. I think that's my next shirt. Future rocket scientist, future engineer. It'll be 3 shirts. One will be future rocket scientist, one will be future engineer, and one will be possibly even an astronaut if I study really hard. Future, of course. But these guys got killed in this Kia because I think the people they stole it from found them and shot and killed them in the car. So I made a video talking about it because it's what I do. And man, the level of hate I got from people about that. They was just joyriding. I mean, just the level of excuses they make for this criminality and the lack of parenting, it's commendable. It truly is. The name of that documentary is something Freakonomics. Freakonomics is the name of that documentary. It's a book that they turned into. The documentary ain't the best. It's worth watching, It's a little too well put together, kind of like the one they did about the book, The Secret. It's got a lot of B-roll in it, but it's still worth watching because there's a whole chapter in that book, Freakonomics, about naming your kids dumbass names like Precious or Quandavius. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Thank you, Mama, for just naming me something simple like Clay, technically Clayton. How many vowels does my name have in it? I've never even counted, like Clayton. A and O, is that it? Only 2 vowels? Only 1 if I go by Clay? All right, we're good. Thank you, Mama. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYA. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com and online at SaveJXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Burgers Blues Barbecue. Guys, swing by one of their 3 great locations today. Get one of their award-winning burgers. My personal favorite is the Bacon Jam Smash Burger. They've always got a special of the month for around $10. You get a burger, fries, and a drink. I'm not sure what the special is this month. Swing by, check that out and see. Check out their all-new website. You can order online on their website now, and it goes directly to locally owned Take a Break deliveries. Pretty cool there. You don't even have to go to Take a Break site. You can do it directly from burgersblues.com and have your order delivered straight to you from a good locally owned food delivery service. They're good folks over there at Take a Break. They've been partners on again and off again with my show and WYAB for a while. I use them when I get food delivered, so you can't go wrong. Burgers Blues is so close to my house, I refuse to get it delivered. But otherwise, I get them delivered. But check them out today. The Blue Plate specials of the day are fried fish, red beans and rice with sausage, or hamburger steak with an assortment of sides to choose from. And do not sleep on their wings. Their smoked wings are phenomenal. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm willing to go on record here and say they have the best of, and you always think about Burgers Blues Barbecue for their phenomenal burgers. Their pulled pork sandwich, or you can just get just the pulled pork. The pulled pork might be the best pulled pork in the entire area. And I don't say that lightly. I really take pride when I tell y'all something's good. And look, some people will just disagree because some things are just debatable. But man, their pulled pork at Burgers Blues is phenomenal. Check it out today. The newest location, Flowwood, there at Dogwood, right in front of Dick's Sporting Goods, downtown Brandon, or Madison, there on Main Street. All 3 open daily, except Sunday. Take a day of rest for the Lord. Goodbye. Enjoy it today. Great stuff, great people, locally owned, locally operated. All right, I found the video about the chapter on cursing your child with a dumb name over at Freakonomics from the documentary Freakonomics. And if you ever wonder what this show sounds like if Clay didn't do any show prep, today is it. But we've been doing this long enough, we can wing it. We can wing it every now and then. And that's what we do around here. All I'm doing is going to the exact websites I would have gone to get my information from anyway. Partying with Ric Flair yesterday wore me out. Let's take a look here. This is called The Name Game, and it's from the Freakonomics movie.
Today, there's more evidence than ever that the culture we come from influences the names we choose. Just ask the baby naming expert.
More and more today, you see parents choosing a name almost as if they're launching a product, that you're trying to position your child for the best chance of success in a global marketplace.
So in an oversaturated marketplace, which names garner the most attention? Are some names destined for the top shelf while others are headed for the bargain basement? Let's take a look at 2 different product lines. Turns out there is such a thing as a knockoff name. The top 5 middle-class white girl names from Fryer's study are, in order of popularity, Ashley, Lauren, Jessica, Emily, and Sarah. While the top 5 lower-income white girl names are Brittany, Samantha, Amanda, Jessica, and Ashley. So what's happened to Ashley?
Ashley, I love it. Oh, Ashley, Smashly, Trashly. You gotta love it.
She's fast losing her popularity on the middle-class list, but she's number 1 among the Walmart crowd. As those wealthier folks see their names popping up everywhere, they quickly discard them in favor of less common merchandise. And just like that, today's high-end Ashley becomes tomorrow's low-rent Trashly. On the lowest rung of the ladder are the names that most signify lower-class parents, like Misty, Destiny, Bobby, Brandy, or Cindy. Now, if you're over 40 and actually remember a time when these names didn't belong up here on stage, you're right. Years ago, these names wouldn't be caught dead in a place like this.
For those of y'all listening on the radio, this got a bunch of girls on a stripper stage with these names covering their breasts.
But the years have not been kind to a name like Bobby, and even though she once was at the top of the socioeconomic ladder, today she's just clinging to her former glory.
Please don't name your kid Barbie or Bambi or anything like that. They might end up being a dancer one day because of it.
And if you do end up with a name that's bound for stripperdom, at least you can change it. I mean, hey, it works in Hollywood. Think about it. Would John Wayne have been as tough if his name was Marion Morrison? Would we think Marilyn Monroe was as beautiful if her name was still Norma Jean? And would we think of Ice Cube rocking the crowd if his name was still O'Shea Jackson?
Actually, I always wanted to change my name to Max Powers because it seems like a name that everybody, like, once they hear it, they're like, dang, this guy must be really cool.
I wanted to change my name when I was younger. I never liked it.
If my name was Henry Obama, you know what I mean? I think that would mean something to people, and I would have more doors open for me.
I did want to change it, but now I'm sort of cool with it. It just sort of like jumps on your back and rides along with you through life, you know?
Anyway, so that's a little bit of that there. And it gets in, if you watch the movie, it's longer, and it gets into some of the black names as well. And it gets into the different spellings of the Ashley names with the E-I-G-H at the end. And not just the E-Y. But that's interesting stuff there. Trashly, Bobby, Misty. Do any of y'all feel attacked this morning? Did you hear your name on that list? How does it make you feel? They really ought to do one talking about all the dang vowels in these people's names. They really, really should. I'm reading some of the comments. Let me get your comments pulled back up on the screen here. Somebody brought up, Jay Warren brought up a crime that I'm very familiar with. It said, what if the murder of Chelsea Kirchen on fortification arrest in 2017 races were reversed? Remember that one? Oh, yeah. I remember that one. One of the first, actually the first person I ever interviewed, period, across the board, was Stacy Kirchen, Chelsea's mom. And I still consider her a friend today. They let me come in at Pops around the corner. That was there in 2020. They let me come to Pops on a Sunday. It was during the summer because, man, it was hot outside. They cranked up the air conditioner for us, but it was still hot in there. They let us come in and let me interview her down there. And we did a live stream for like 3 hours, I think, interviewing her and getting the whole story, finally giving her a chance to tell her whole story and everything. And it was really, really sad, man. And, you know, those guys didn't serve any jail time for that crime. I mean, they spent some time in jail for other stuff around the same time, but they didn't spend any time in jail for that crime. But, yeah. And all the black community did was, oh, well, she was down there buying drugs. She tried to rob the dope man. Like somehow any of that, if true, justified her being killed. It just tells you how rotten that culture is. How rotten Democrat black death culture, urban black culture in Jackson, Mississippi is when they when they'll say that somehow she deserved what she got because she was down there buying drugs. And again, nobody's ever proven that she was, by the way. But if somehow that justifies what happened. That would be like me saying that the guy that died drag racing deserved it. Or the guy that was not died drag racing, but died at the drag races down in Crystal Springs in Copiah County. That would be like me saying he deserved to die because he was watching drag street racing. No. Does not. Took on some risk when he chose to go watch drag racing, street racing, but didn't deserve to die. Same buying drugs, if that's what happened. She acquired some risk going to do that, but didn't deserve to die. But yeah, I mean, imagine if a little black girl had come out to Rankin County to buy some drugs, to buy some meth, we'll say. And because I'm trying to paint the picture of like what does a white drug dealer sell? Because I mean, lots of black drug dealers sell meth in Jackson. I keep telling y'all, you want us to keep our meth heads in Rankin County, quit selling good meth, and we'll keep our meth heads in Rankin County. But I mean, like the cops know that they come over to buy, and they post up right there waiting on them to come back. And they watch their tag numbers. They know who they are. They know who the dope heads are. And when they run into Jackson, they follow them. They see what they do, and they get them when they come back. And this ain't rocket science. But y'all are rocket scientists, potentially, future. Anyway, pretend for a second a young black girl goes to Rankin County to buy some meth. And when she's leaving, a crew of white guys, white teens, roll up behind her and shoot her in the back of the head at a red light. What do y'all think the public sentiment would be? How do y'all think that would play out in the media? You think the black community would take that one and say, man, she deserved to die. She was buying drugs. You think they would say that? They built a statue of George Floyd, a man that put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. I can assure you, they wouldn't just take that. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. This segment brought to you by our friends over at, how about my friends right downstairs here at Shelter Insurance Agency. At the Shelter Insurance Agency. My good friend Jamie Creel. Guys, let Jamie shop your rates for you today, get you a quote. Just reach out to him. Imagine having your insurance agent's number on speed dial and not having to go to, I mean, I'll say it. I don't want to pretend like I can't say this here. Like, man, I did business with Progressive for years and years and years and never had a local agent. Then I got caught up without insurance because I switched to somebody local, and then they decided to get out of the insurance business, and I ended up without insurance without even knowing it for a minute. And I ended up having to get insurance on a Sunday when I realized it, was only able to deal with one of these janky online agencies. And finally, I ended up breaking down and calling Jamie Creel on a Sunday. I was like, I can't take it no more. I need some dang good insurance, and I need a good local insurance agent. And he stepped up and took care of me, got me better rates and better coverage on my renter's insurance and my vehicle. I've been so pleased with Jamie since I started doing business with him that I was like, man, I can only talk about you so much on the radio. I need you to advertise with me so I can sing your praises to the masses more often. And he did. And y'all guys have been reaching out to him and letting him save you money. Everybody else that ain't done it, do the same. Is your credit getting better over the last 6 months or so? You need to shop your rates. If your credit's gone up 10, 15, 20 points, 50 points over the last 6 months, a year, and you ain't shopped your insurance rates, you are literally burning money right now for no reason. Let Jamie do it for you. Google it. Shelter Insurance, Jamie Creel. It'll pop up. Creel. Offices in Ridgeland, next to Fleet Feet there on 51, and right here at the Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora. More than just an agent. Jamie Creel, Shelter Insurance agent. All right, man. Where are we at here? Sean just texted me, says, owner of Trump-themed restaurant detained by ICE. Yeah, man. I mean, you can't appease your way into citizenship. You can't pander your way into citizenship here in America. We ain't going to tolerate that. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. Feels like a grifter to me. Feels like a grifter. Not going to support that. Let's see here. Let me click on it. You've piqued my interest. See, first off, he probably got detained and arrested by ICE because he is profiting off Trump's name and Trump not making no money on it. He didn't license Trump's name. I'm going to go out on a record and assume here. This happened down in Houston. Well, I tell you what, I don't know what it is about these in urban cities. They love doing some knockoff stuff. The owner of presidential Donald Trump-themed restaurant in Houston is facing deportation. According to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Ronald Beany, Beainy, 3 vowels in his last name. Get him out of here. Is from Lebanon and entered the country in 2019. Immigration officials say that the 28-year-old overstayed his visa. Beanie was arrested in May, but is out on bond as he awaits immigration proceedings. In a statement, ICE says the agency is committed to holding all individuals accountable who enter the country illegally or overstay their visas, a.k.a. overstay their welcomes. Get on out of here. Get on out of here. Nah, I'm being a little facetious, man. Y'all let my dog stay. Let my dog stay. I like the people from Lebanon. The Lebanese people are good folks. I've always got anybody I've ever ran across from Lebanon was good folks. They treated me good. I may be wrong. No, I think Mr. Dabbit was Syrian. Is Syria and Lebanon the same? Y'all don't punch me. I don't know. I'm ignorant to foreign stuff. I know Mississippi. I know a little bit about the Southeast, and I know a little bit about America, but I know Mississippi. Is Syria and Lebanon, or Syrians and Lebanese the same thing? Like Japanese and Chinese? Is that racist? I don't intend for it to be. Everything's racist nowadays. Anyway, those are good people. But I didn't mention Miss Angela's super chat, by the way. Miss Angela, super chat for $4.99. Y'all don't be afraid to send a super chat in on YouTube. I'll read anything you post. You super chat it, I will read it as long as it doesn't have foul language in it. To the crazy girl that keeps calling via private number 872 times a show. Yeah, if you want to get a message across, if you want me to read a message, send a super chat on YouTube. I will read your message then. Anybody that's been banned from this show, the only way to get back on this show is to send a super chat of at least $4.99. And for the crazy lady, she's probably going to need to send $9.99 and join as a super FAFO supporter on YouTube. But thank you, Miss Angela. You have now sent right at $20 this week. And when I buy myself a beer this weekend, cheers to you and to Mike Magazine. And let's get you booked on the show next week, by the way. But look, man, if you're here illegally, you ain't going to be here long. I know that the hard line, like that hard line in the sand, really aggravates a lot of people. Because everybody's like, but, she's hot. or she's in school, or these are good people. Man, at the end of the day, you get what you tolerate. And we ain't tolerating nothing no more in America. Look, if we could deport these thugs from these inner cities, I'd drive the bus. I mean, we're stuck with them. They're anchor babies, unfortunately. We're stuck with them. I mean, if we could do a swap, for some of these good immigrants, for some of our bad, I would gladly do an even Steven. Let's give Quandavius's citizenship to Miguel, and Quandavius can go to wherever Miguel came from, and we'll take Miguel. But unfortunately, we can't do that. We're stuck. And I'm trying to think of some good white trash names so I don't feel like I'm just talking about Quandavius. Buddy Lee. I don't know. See, what white trash doesn't have as specific of names that are as easy to point out by just looking at the name list. Because rarely do white folks give their kid that middle name anymore. Millennial moms kind of screwed it all up with the way they name their kids. You know, used to, like, you knew when somebody was white trash just by looking at their name. But like I said, millennial moms screwed it all up with Tyler and Braden and I want to say other names, but I've dated girls that all have kids named these things. And I don't want them to think I'm talking about them. Let's take our last break of the day and end this week. Put me out of my misery. We had so many good shows in a row, and we end it with a stinker on a FAFO Friday. But it happens like that every now and then. At least be entertaining if you're going to suck, right? This is the Clay Edwards Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back online. Stay with me. I'm going to say goodbye to y'all instead of making you wait 4 minutes to do it. Don't go anywhere. Hi, guys. Miss Angela says, no, we ain't switching now. We ain't switching out now. We love all our vile folks, Clay. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. We do not. Them jails is filled up with a bunch of vowels. Man, you ever go look at the inmate list? See how many vowels, see how many names got 4 or more vowels. I may start doing that like every Monday. Go look at the Hinds County prison input list and see how many names got 4 or more vowels. Go to that Mississippi Mugshots page and just start counting up the vowels. We'll make a drinking game out of it. All right, y'all. Today was a fun show. If nothing else, we had fun today, but I don't think we reinvented the wheel. We didn't break any earth-shattering news today. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. Blame it on Ric Flair. I'm a little brain fried today. He said when he was forcing me to drink those other drinks, he said, you got to get on the radio tomorrow and you got to tell them how a 76-year-old man outdrank your ass. He only outdrank me because I let him. Woo! Thank y'all. I'll see y'all Monday. All right, kind of in closing here, I just got a message on Instagram from a guy that says, how about searching for a job instead of searching for negative stories and images on Black America? You are long in the tooth, my friend, and need retirement plans. Well, but Black Americans, or Black Jacksonians in particular, are what brought all this strife down on Clay Edwards. Make me have to move from my city, out of my family home, to Rankin County. These are all things I never wanted to do. But thanks to what Black Jacksonians did to Jackson, I was forced to, like so many other people, white and black. So this entire platform is kind of like my reparations from y'all. Funny how that works. Y'all run me out of my home, ran me out of my job, caused my club to shut down, made my property value go to hell, my inheritance, my family property. Ain't worth crap now. But at least I kind of got this is like my reparations, my paycheck from talking about Jackson crime all the time. Is I guess y'all's thank you card to me. Stay angry. See y'all Monday.